All right, I'm ready.
And welcome.
Hello.
Um, okay, tell everybody who you are.
What's up, haters? I'm Anne from Rope. I am the singer, I am the guitar player, and I am the songwriter of Rope. That is my baby. I do a little side guitaring. I play in a black metal band called Blood Atonement, and I'm actually have a new project that's like a little secret still, but that'll be in a little bit of a darker style as well. And I'm just playing guitar in that one, so
I'm just gonna make you tell me what it is. The interview not going forward until you tell me. Just kidding. I'll get it out of you later.
maybe.
Um, but probably still on camera. Okay, yeah, and your band Rope, uh, Rope and Metal on Instagram if you guys are looking for that. You also have a female drummer. Who else is in the band right now? Because I know you've been like,
Well, right now we've got myself, our drummer Margaret, she's amazing. We have a second guitar player, Jeff Spencer, he's also amazing, and we have bass goddess Leona Hayward. I'm sure everybody knows her. She's played in like a ton of bands, and she's just like wizard level musician. So I'm super happy to have her.
yes, I DM'd her and we are supposed to be scheduling something.
Force
Yeah,
her to do it because the longer she talks, the more weird shit she says.
oh
She's
gosh,
so funny
good.
and
I'll have to get her in on like one of these like hour long ones. I tell people that they're going to be 20, 30 minutes and then like sometimes they just end up being like way, way, way longer. Um, but who cares? It's my fucking show. So, yeah, and also past bands, you were in an Iron Maiden cover band.
I played in an Iron Nightingale and we did like classic metal covers, so it wasn't just Iron Maiden, it was just kind of like whatever Allison, who was a singer in that band, would choose just like she would just choose like the songs she liked the best, and she didn't realize that for the guitarist that can be like impossible. She'd be picking like Dawkins songs, and I'm like, okay, I'll try to do that. But like, I have these tiny hands. Like, I am not going to be able to do some of these things. But it made me a way better guitar player because I tried and like I did what I could.
Yeah, those shows were fun. I remember you guys playing at Highline. So also you have out there on the internet a Filthy Dogs of Metal interview, and I'm gonna do like so much better of an interview than that. So let's get into these questions.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, eat it, filthy dogs. Um, when did you realize, or actually, oh, I gave you some older questions. Okay,
You can ask me
when,
whatever you want. I can
all
roll
right,
with.
so let me ask you this other one because I think it's a better question. Um, when did you first realize that you loved rock and metal music?
So I have been super into music since I was like a young teenager, and Seattle back then was like a great place to go to all ages shows and do all kinds of shit your parents would have just died if they'd known about. So like I was into rock music from a really early age, and then I started playing guitar when I was a little bit older. I got more into like the metal type thing just because it's super fun to play on guitar, and like the more time I was spending doing it, obviously you want to play more challenging things and like you want to see what you can do and like what kind of stupid sounds you can make. So I got more into the metal end of things. And then I wanted to play in a band, and I started doing that with like some guys that said they had a band and I should just learn some songs and showed up. So of course I show up and like I can play the songs and nobody else knows them. So
Ah,
I'm like,
that's
okay,
hilarious.
where's the band? And then it just kind of snowballed into this thing where I'm like, I'll just do everything myself then. Like, I'm not gonna wait around for everybody else. So,
A very good rule in life, honestly. Like don't wait for a man to tell you that you can do something. Uh, like yeah, don't wait for a male-run magazine to tell you that you can interview your favorite musicians. Don't wait for a man to take you to Dracula's castle in Romania. Um, don't do
I would
that.
say this too. If a man tells you he's a good guitar player, you're gonna believe it, but you should actually like see that and hear that first because they might be, but like maybe they're not.
That is so interesting. Yeah, that's like a okay, it's there's like the like teenage girl fairy tale where you fall in love with the magical poet that's kind of like David Bowie from the Labyrinth, and then you discover that like you are the magical poet whom you had sought. And maybe when you're like really young, you're like, wow, look at the guy playing guitar. And then you're like, I'm gonna try to learn that song so I can be cool like him. And then you realize it's super fucking easy. And then you're like super embarrassed that you ever had a crush on him.
To be honest, I will say like I did spend a lot of time, especially when I was young, like looking for someone, like thinking like, oh, I'll meet the person and like we'll write songs together and like I need this other person to do this thing. And then over time I realized like I am both of those people and I can actually just do that myself. And I really, really, really would encourage like pretty much anyone just to like not feel like you don't need that. Like you are the creative person, so like you can create without that.
Yeah. Be your own hot poet guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you decide to share your music for the first time?
Well, we used to play with some characters. I won't get too far into it, but they really were like anti-recording and sharing the songs. And so at some point I decided to cut ties and just move forward. Like I got Margaret, she's an amazing drummer, and we were like, we had all these songs and we are like, let's just record them and put them out there. Like they were not perfect. Like the first demo was not the product that I like to put forward now, but like I feel like my songwriting is probably like my bigger strength. So I just wanted to share them and like give feedback and like, meet people and put it out there. So like now I think I'd be a lot more picky about the things that I'm sharing, but I just wanted to get them out at that point.
Oh, that is so good. I don't know why this came to mind, but I remember this one time that you came over to my apartment at that vortex where Pine and Pike converge, and then it's also got the I-5, and it's just like a hellhole of circling traffic.
That
Um,
describes this entire city.
and and I had like all this like glass furniture, and you were like, I used to have beautiful glass furniture until a man moved in my house. Broke all of it. I think I just thought of it because I can like see your house behind you, and I'm like, did she get her glass furniture back?
Yeah, I'm doing a good job taking better care of things these days. Like not having a man around to like lean back in every chair and like spill wine all over the place. It helps.
Life advice. Okay, if your music with rope were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about?
Okay, so the movie would be Nightmare Alley, but not this new version that has crappy ass Bradley Cooper. It would be the old one with Tyrone Power. It has like all of my favorite things. Like A Dark Carnival is my favorite. Like I love that setting. I love that theme. I love the story. It's like dark magic, false prophets. Like it has it all. So I really love that. I think like half my songs already fit for it, and I'd love to write more. I like that I like anything that kind of sounds like a music box, and I love like cartoony evil. That's kind of like more of the vibe I try to pull into the songs that I write for Rope. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah, pick me up in a hot car and take me to a like very scary carnival. What's the movie called again?
Nightmare Alley. It's
Okay.
got Tyrone Power in it. So it's like when you see Bradley Cooper trying to be this sort of a man, you're like, God, Hollywood is synced to such a new low. Men used to be actually handsome. That used to be a requirement.
It did used to be a requirement. Oh my God. Okay, really funny thing. Um, well, no, I think that one's gonna have to be private. I'll tell you about it later. But anyway,
You'll love that movie though. It's amazing.
I'm excited to check it out. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Also like haunted carnival stuff. I gotta send you my latest short story because
Oh, do it.
it's
It's my
got
favorite.
it's like literally haunted carousel. So, um, if you could play a tour with any three bands alive today, who would you choose?
This is such a funny question. Anyone that knows me already knows the answer to this because I'm like a huge Phil Lewis fan, and my dream for Rope is that we would get to open for LA Guns someday. Like love I love Phil Lewis. Like LA Guns isn't my favorite Phil band, but like So Phil, when you listen to this, Rope and Metal, you can send me a message when you come to Seattle. We want to play with you.
Uh,
Um, Aside from that, Lucifer
hmm,
is one of my favorite bands. Like, I really liked The Oath. I don't know if you know about that band. It's like
yeah.
her band before. And
Hmm.
that record was a really big inspiration for me because you like two hot chicks that like look super cool and they're playing like pretty much the exact kind of metal that I really like, kind of like Merciful Fate sounding,
Hmm.
good clean singing. Aside from that, I've been watching your podcast, and I think that me and Miss Treater and Rope could do a pretty sick show together. So when they are rolling through Seattle, they should also hit us up.
I will be sticking you in a chat with them in that case. And I guess I better stick you in there with Sanhedrin as well because that would also fit together. And you
I remember seeing so when Sanhedrin played in Seattle, I went and saw them, and that lady fucking like chewed gum and played perfectly and sounded perfectly, and she sounded exactly like the record, and I was so like starstruck. I'm like, damn.
it's like such a amazing skill when somebody can do both at the same time.
I'm like, she's
Um,
not even paying attention to what she's doing. I don't think she's just like
so
so good at
natural.
it.
Yeah. Lucifer is really great. What an amazing band Johanna has behind her. And really good production. Um, okay, and so that was three. And which part of music production do you like best? Writing, recording, editing, or playing live?
So for sure, I like writing music the best. Like, I think I'm mostly a guitar player and songwriter, so I really like writing. My favorite things are like once I have a song structured out, I really like adding the second guitar parts. That's where I feel like you can hear my personality. Like I always tell people when they listen to the Rope album that it sounds like taking a big drink of my personality because it does. Like everything is like really me and it's too much for some people for sure, but that's what you're gonna get. And like I think that part of writing is where like I really put myself in there, and like writing guitar solos is super fun. I try to like make them all a bit special and different. So like I'm not recycling the same ideas over and over again. I like recording. I've been pretty heavily involved in that, like editing and all that aspects of it. It's just really time consuming and stressful for me. I mean, everyone is a perfectionist, right? But like I will get so far down into the weeds with that maybe that's not like the most fun thing in the world.
Yeah, I actually I feel like recording and editing are my two of those four.
Like
Um
the best.
yeah, I like recording and editing.
Eh,
I also really enjoy music marketing, which like a lot of people totally hate. But
I
obviously
don't even bother doing that.
well, I mean, like, look how much fun I'm having. Like, all of this is like, hey, let me tell everybody about everybody's band. And I'm like having the best time ever. It's like a party every time I do an episode. I'm making new friends all the time. It's great. So I don't know. It's which makes the question kind of interesting. I should probably bring that one back in for more
I think
episodes.
that writing lyrics is something that I find really challenging too. Like it's important for me to not say anything that I don't feel comfortable saying, if it makes sense. So I have to like really think about what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and like it's like I'm trying to write a line of like it being generic enough to be likable
Hmm.
and like specific enough to what I'm trying to express. And like for me, because sometimes I write personal songs,
Hmm.
sometimes I write songs that are like inspired by a book or a movie. So yeah, that can be challenging.
I feel like your Icelandic roots are really showing when you say that. That sort of like the reserve as you express yourself, the reticence, very Scandinavian.
Yeah,
So
that's
all
true.
this all the Scandinavian people watching, you'll perfectly understand the lyrics. Um, which is like the I don't know, probably like why I was like always confused by how to behave in Seattle because I don't like think about what I'm saying. I just
I mean, Seattle's a stupid place. Like people do not want to talk to you. Even if
Uh,
they do want to talk to you, they're still not gonna do it.
they're like confused when they like want to talk to you, and then they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so la la la. So okay. What's your favorite piece of gear that you own?
My favorite piece of gear that I own is this guitar. This is
Mm.
like a early 70s SG.
Ooh, look at the
It's
color.
really a lovely instrument.
Is it brown or kind of maroon?
It's like a wood finish.
Oh, gorgeous.
And
Pretty.
so when I started playing guitar, more like I had bought myself just like a cheap guitar to learn on. And I
Mhm.
was playing so much that I started to have like really bad tendonitis in my hands, and I had to go to the doctor and like do all this stretching and like physical therapy.
Mhm.
And then someone who loves me bought me this guitar. Like I would never spend this much money on something for myself. And it is like a short scale. It has a really slim profile, and like I can play this thing forever and it will not hurt me. And it's like the instrument that I started to become like a good guitar player on.
Mhm.
And so I have like a very emotional connection with this one, and I just like I love it. I don't ever like take it out of my house because if something happened to it, I would be it's not really replaceable.
Mhm. That is really
I mean,
interesting.
if corporations are people, then this guitar is a person too. And if anything happened to it, I would be so sad. Like, no.
Yeah, keep it safe. I was talking to Emily from Arch Druid about like playing bass and doom bass and like how long you have to hold that string on the
Yeah,
fret is like painful. What are your pro hand stretches that you picked up when you were doing physical therapy?
I don't do any stretches anymore.
No, what do they teach you? Tell the girls, help the girls have the hands that move.
You just gotta do like, all these ones.
Hmm.
Are gonna be all cracking and stuff, and then these ones on your wrist.
Oh,
I
okay.
went and saw Nita Strauss, and she was like talking about the stretches she does,
Hmm.
and that was like to put your arm out like that and like turn your head away from
Oh my God.
it. Yeah.
Um, pro tips. Actually, that felt amazing. I should like develop some physical therapy stuff for painting and beading too, because I'm always like
Yeah,
out of
I know.
control when
I
I'm
do
doing it.
that. I get a real nice hunch going when I'm sitting over a guitar hunting, so it's like so bad. But I do a
Oh,
little bass guitaring too. Like I did play bass on that first rope recording, so the album.
yeah. Um, so that's super cool. Like, the neck of that guitar that you have, like how wide is it? Like how does everybody like replace the necks on their guitar or whatever to get something more comfortable?
This is your body, so it's probably like about 2 inches, but it's like slender this way.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah.
a really small guitar.
Hmm.
And if I was gonna do bassing more seriously, and the thing is, like, I screw around with this stuff so much, but like, if a little basses, they honestly like don't sound as resonant to me, and I'm not one of those people to sit on tropes. Like, I would go play some and like see what I actually thought about it, but like, I think something in the middle is best for a bass.
Hmm.
For
Okay.
for me at least, or like the sound of bass that I want.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, I've spent like a total of like $200 on the two bases I have, so I just buy what's cheap.
And getting the string gauges that you want right too makes a big difference.
Yeah, true. Strings, I'm good with the on those right now. Strings by Aurora, everyone. Multicolored
Yeah, you
strings,
got those
profile
sick
keys,
pink
and all that
strings. I
stuff.
saw them. I was like, oh, I love that. They
Yeah,
would look good on my Randy Rhodes.
they endorse me, so everybody just tell DM Strings by Aurora on Instagram to get 15% off your own colorful strings. Only for girls though. Boys don't get discounts. Just kidding. You guys can have the discount. So, okay. And looking back on all of these projects and all the music you've put out, what is a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice? Or something more personal is also fine. Whatever you want.
It is this exact thing that we were talking about before. Like, I think that when I first started playing music with other people, and I was playing with all men, Like I let other people block me because I really felt like I needed them to succeed. Like I hate to say everyone's replaceable because that's not true. Like I appreciate people are special and like unique, and I have had a lot of people contribute really amazing things to my music, but like you don't need anybody. Everybody is replaceable. Like you don't wait around for somebody like to be kind to you or to listen to your ideas or to allow you to play in public or like allow you to share your ideas. Like don't wait for it. Just like move forward and find someone that wants to do it. And that's going to be like supportive and push you forward. Like don't waste time with people that are holding you back. Like you will find people that want to take you forward.
I feel like
So
Mina.
like when I cut those people, we
Mhm,
started moving forward and like I just I feel like I'm a little bit harder now. Like
mhm.
if I feel like someone's doing that, I will let them go.
I know exactly which stick in the mud you're talking about.
Maybe you do. Who's a person that I care about and I
Yeah,
like.
we like. Yeah. Um, well, actually, Mina Valkyrie had expressed something similar in an answer to that question. So she's another person I'll have to like put you in touch with. You guys would probably like each other. Um, and she's got a new album coming out with Bronze too. So, okay. Any new announcements for us?
We're gonna have a couple of singles coming out soon. We're just finishing up the artwork, which is turning out fucking awesome. And the songs turned out really good. Our friend Jeff Black, he plays in Gatekeeper and he's playing in a power metal band Glyph now. He's amazing. He also plays in Spell. He just finished finishing the mastering for us, so gonna sound good. We're gonna release them soon. I'm pretty excited about it. I feel like it's so like I kind of like play around with songs and styles like when I'm writing music. I wouldn't say that rope is necessarily pigeonholed into anything. It's just whatever I'm listening to at the moment or like whatever is interesting to me. So these two are special and I think they're gonna be really fucking cool.
Well, what were you listening to when you wrote these?
Uh one of them is like I wrote it. It's actually a song like it features Matt Bogan, who plays in Solicitor. So it's like some riffs that he gave me, and I finished the song. And it's a lot more like, I'd say 80s Scorpions vibe. So
Hmm,
that's like a bit different. And the other song is my song, that I was like messing around with the thrash riff, and I'm like, can I do vocals on this kind of music? Why not? Like, let's just try. So like that one is like, if you like guitar solos, then like these two songs, you're gonna love them.
amazing. So are they like songs that you'll be releasing early summer?
I think that, yeah, we should be releasing them early summer.
They sound like summer songs to me. I
Yeah,
feel
they're like bangers. I like to try to write like party songs. That's like I mean, I think you can tell that like I'm serious about my band, but I definitely don't take myself too seriously. And the music is like it's supposed to be fun.
it is fun. Yeah, and your demos for Rope, they came out in 2020, super early 2020, January and then March 10th. Um, did that interrupt what you were working, well, did the panty interrupt what you were working on, or did it kind of give you space to release with
We
those?
were just like doing stuff back then. After we did those demos, we like buckled down and tried to make the thing sound like slicker and more professional. So I think it was a good step just to like get a little recording experience and work out some kinks. And then the album was coming along anyways, and I think that turned out really good actually.
Cool.
Um,
That's good. Yeah. Lucky. Because a lot of people that I've been interviewing that are like that have a couple singles out or an EP, and are like about to release a bunch of albums. There's about to be like so many amazing rock goddess albums coming out in the next couple
Come
of
to
years.
Seattle and play with Rope, everybody. We
Yeah.
want to play some more shows.
I mean, honestly, we need to do like I'm like daydreaming about like how to do like a rock goddess fest.
I think
And
the real question would be like where to do it.
yeah, and like where would it be? I'd love to do it in the South, actually.
I've never been to the South.
Baltimore. I'd love to do it in
I've
Baltimore.
never been in the South, and I've really never been on the East Coast either. I grew up in Alaska and I've lived in Seattle most of my life, so
Yeah, like I would do Baltimore. It's not really the South, but it's so fucking cheap. So, although I don't know if the airport is that cheap. I'm trying to think of like which one has the cheapest airport. Probably I should just do Philly because we got like three international airports right here. Um, but yeah, Deb from Lady Beast, I should ask her, like, take me under your wing. And then I
do
would
it bi-coastal too. You could do like a West Coast, East Coast one.
yeah, yeah. Make it a big tour, just a touring festival. Just give me everything. I want it all. So, yeah. Okay. Are you ready to play the vinyl game? Oh, wait. One more thing. Where can people listen to your music and follow what you do?
You can find us on Spotify. Might be a little bit difficult because of our band name Rope. We're also on Bandcamp, obviously. And Instagram is rope.and.metal. And you should follow us there.
Yeah, and actually I will say that it's not that hard, I think, to find Rope on Spotify. You also, if anybody is gonna go digging around on Metal Archives, Rope is the second down, I think, in the list. It's
Leave us some reviews, even if it's hateful.
this she ditched me. I'm a whiny
I'd
man.
love to hear it.
So, all right, let's play.
Oh,
To
I knew I was
vinyl,
gonna.
you pick one and tell us why you picked it.
I'm gonna go with Donna Summer. Although I did watch this movie that Donna Summer is in. Is it called Friday? It's like
Oh.
about Donna Summer, and she's trying to get her in at the disco club, and then she like sings, and like her singing while she's like trying to impress the man in the movie, it's like bad.
Well,
But then she performs at the end and it's really good, and she's obviously the shit, but you're like, what?
okay, I gotta check
And the
out this
too
movie.
much cocaine's happening in this movie, or what?
Well, I like that, like, sort of some kind of just dessert that, like, she'd try to impress a man with her singing and then it didn't sound good. So, don't do that. Um, okay. Patti Smith or Kate Bush, two weird ass
Oh
songwriters.
dear Lord. I don't like either of these things, not gonna lie. But which is the lesser evil? I think I could not make it through an entire Patti Smith record without turning it off, so we'll take Kate Bush there. Well,
Ah,
unpopular opinions, I can keep them coming all day.
West Coast America. No, just kidding. Okay, LA Witch or Stevie Nicks.
I've never heard LA Witch. When is this band from?
Oh, well, they are from LA and they're contemporary. There's a yeah. Now and then I put a contemporary vinyl in there.
So I will pick Stevie, but like I'm not the biggest Stevie fan, but I will say that I love Christine. And the Christine Perfect album is one of my favorite albums. I love it so much that I did make my ex-husband drag a princess chair to Green Lake with me so I could recreate the cover photograph.
It, well, speaking of covers to remake, I feel like Pongo and I have a
Oh
job to
yeah.
do here.
And you know what? If you permed that hair of yours, you could achieve those bangs too.
Ooh, yeah, just a ball of hair right in the front of your face.
I love a good 80s perm though. Here for that.
And then a similar cover, Cher, but with her pet, and then Grace Slick.
I'll go with Cher. I do love Cher.
Okay.
Love Cher a lot. She's so beautiful
Indeed.
and talented. She's such a good singer.
Yes. And it's still out there doing amazing things. And so many great songs, so many hits, so
Yeah.
many, I mean, like, she's probably overdue to be canceled for all of the like sort of race baiting that she did in her career, but it's okay, it's Cher.
Oh,
Coven or hoaxed?
okay. This
Hard
is
one.
I have some interesting stories about both of these things. Like I've listened to one Coven song and then I went to that Lucifer show and I was like, I'm gonna hear what Coven is all about. But they canceled their night in Seattle, so they actually didn't play. So that one is still kind of a question mark to me. And I did go see Hoaxed recently. That band is really amazing and they sound fantastic live. Like they smoked everybody else. I won't mention which one of my friends' bands are playing that night, but they were like way better.
I
Hoaxed was amazing.
I saw the recent hoaxed tour with some boy bands, and it's possible that it was the same one. Very nice candle collection from those boys. Anyway, aspirational amounts of candles. So for Coven, everybody is like pretty familiar with Wicked Woman, but I don't even think that's a good representation of their work. Which was like usually like one song can't be. But White Witch of Rose Hall is one of my favorites, but Midnight Man is like another like really top song from them. And then they've got like other like catchier hit songs, but they played Black Swan on their tour. That's another good one. Yeah,
I really wish they had played in Seattle. It was a bummer. Like I would have gone to the show either way, but you know, glad
yeah.
it was on, but it was a bummer.
Yeah. Jinx signed my jacket. I was wearing this jacket. I painted all these rock goddesses on it, and she signed her face. She's the big one on the back, so
Oh, that's awesome.
she liked it. Yeah, she held my hand and stuff. It's pretty special. She could see in my face. I could see by the way she was looking at me that I was making some kind of face, like she
You
was
know
looking
what?
at.
Usually like I don't really like to like meet my idols. I had a really weird experience with that when I was young. Um, like I met this lady and she was like a very much high on heroin, really weird, like behaving really much like junkie behavior. And I was like, it was somebody that I had like, really like looked up to and like really liked their music, really like respected them and like to see them in a party environment just being like a weird junkie level, I was like, I think I like the idea in my head better, and I don't need to like. I would like to, keep that one next time.
Yeah, I think that's happened to me with artists, but not with musicians. Artists, there's like a sort of a legend or whatever that they're antisocial, and then they use that to like hide their cowardice, and it pisses me off. And so I fucking don't enjoy meeting people that like I'll just stop. But yeah, with musicians, I find that like it's a prerequisite if you're gonna get on a stage and sing a song or play a solo that you're gonna have to have some guts. And like, I think another thing about it is like to have guts like that, you have to be aware that you're not really that important. It doesn't matter if you make an ugly face or you like fart on stage or I don't know what. Like it doesn't matter cuz like you're not that important. But like artists like can't be seen unless they're perfect and it irritates like it's like so self-absorbed to think that it matters. So, anyway, not to go on a tangent.
You're kind of like a scary person, Jenny. Yeah. I just think for me, like, I'd rather have the idea in my head and like look up to that person than meet them and realize they're just like another crappy human, like all of us I already know.
I need you to explain to me what I just did that was scary.
I mean, I know that when people like, I know when you want to meet someone and they're not giving you what you want that you're gonna turn the screw and try to fucking get what you want. And I respect that a lot. I love that about you, but it is also frightening.
You're completely right.
I hope you do that with the musicians you're playing with too, by the way. I do it to mine.
Um, I leave most of them alone. There's two people I work with where I've had to learn to um expect less. Like I can't even say adjust my behavior. I just have to adjust my expectations and like be like, but yeah, most of them are so good that I don't have to say anything to them at all. I just like ask them to do what they do and they do it amazing and I leave them alone. But yeah. Uh, but you're completely right. If I like meet somebody and they're like being um too withholding with me, I'm like, why do you think it matters?
Gonna drill down into that shit.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like,
scary.
I think it's rather rude of them to withhold. Like, what's your big secret so important for?
Yeah, I mean, you should understand why people might find that intimidating.
I do now that you've explained it to me. I think it's hilarious.
It is it is funny. That's probably why you had like a weird time in Seattle, honestly.
What?
That's probably why you had a weird time in Seattle. People here like abhor that kind of thing.
I
Like,
know. I know, and I mean, I obviously was like fine to like make a bunch of friends because there were a lot of people who found it tremendously amusing to like be around me, um, but I didn't feel like I was making deep connections because people were um just very like closed and I was like this isn't even fun. Like I'm not even having fun. So, but like obviously I made a bunch of friends like love you, love Amy.
yeah, this is definitely not like a wild city where people go out and like party and like go to shows and express themselves. You're not gonna see any of that.
No. Yeah. Which confused me. But like for example, one like really great time that I had there at the High Line. Well, and that's why I think I got along with everybody in T-Rocks so easily because like that whole band is like the screwdriver in Seattle society. They're just like there to like
Oh yeah.
try to get something out of people. And but I remember this one time at the High Line, I was with Laura and we watched a boy band play and we were both like okay like that singer's really hot, let's see if we can get him to drink tequila with us, and he just like outright refused. I mean, like Laura's like so gorgeous and everything and I'm all like personable and so it was
I will not drink tequila with you two women.
I
How
know
dare you offer
I was
that?
just like, you know what, I give up on this place. I think that was the last show that I went to in Seattle. I was like, I give up. I give up. But yeah. Anyway,
That place was
like
a weird vibe, though. It was like weird strip mall vibes.
what?
I had a lot of weird encounters with boy band members there myself.
I'm probably gonna have to trim the end of this video.
That's fine.
I'm gonna cut it off right before you made me like aware that I'm scaring people.
Definitely keep that in. Well, you might not lose your magic on that, actually.
Well, yeah, and now that I've decided that I'm gonna trim this, oh yeah, I can just like stop recording. So let me do that.